We've got quite an opportunity brewing for us in the XLV ETF, which is for healthcare. This is the SPDR or SPDR ETF that contains several large healthcare companies, and it's been following a pattern that is very similar to what we are seeing in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell 2000 overall. On this big chart, we had our bottom in March of 2020, and then we rallied in an impulsive five-wave structure that's marked with the 1 here. That hit right around 109, textbook standard wave 2 pullback that ended at the very end of October of 2020. After having that 1-2 set up, I set up a Fibonacci extension based on this 1-2, and typically your Subwave 1 will hit the 0.32 extension, which is what it did right here. It hit 114. We pulled back in a very standard wave 2, and ever since then, our third wave is expected to hit the 1.0 extension, and that's exactly what it did. This green line here marks where our Subwave 3 hit, which is right around $136. It surpassed it slightly. After the 1.0, your Subwave 4 will typically pull back to about where the 0.618 support is. This is considered a major support. If you break down below this, you may be in some trouble. But so far, we have pulled back pretty sharply along with the rest of the equities in what I'm calling an A wave. I expect us to see a B wave bounce, just like with equities, before a final C wave takes us down to about the 122.55 range. And when we look at the A wave that we've had so far, it looks kind of impulsive. It doesn't have a clear three-wave structure. Using the A wave equals C wave equivalence that you commonly see in corrective waves, if we do have a 61.8% retrace in the wave B, as we see here, our expected bottom should fall right around that region. Now, the components of XLV are following similar patterns as well. JNJ, which is the biggest component of XLV and makes up 9% of it, is in a pretty colossal pullback right now. That may actually be a bigger pullback off of a fifth wave. United Health, or UNH, rallied very strongly earlier this year and appears to be in an A wave correction with a likely B wave bounce and a C wave ready to take us down for a lower low. United Health, of course, makes up 8% of this ETF. PFE or Pfizer makes up 4.6% of this ETF, and it's following a much more clear diagonal pattern. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that fifth wave top would portend a pretty nasty pullback, which looks like we're well in the midst of. We'll see if we have a B wave bounce on this and further downside in the C wave. Abbott makes up a 4.4% share of XLV, and it rallied and has pulled back, and it has rallied again. So this looks like it might be a subwave 2 of a larger rally coming. And finally, ABBV also appears to be in a diagonal pattern. We had a deep cutback that aligned with the wave 2 in our XLV pattern, and we've had a less robust rally since. It has been pulling back. ABBV, of course, makes up 4% of the XLV ETF. If we can hold $122.57 on XLV, we have a strong probability for a target of $150. So again, that's $150, which would be the 1.32 extension, which is a standard target for the Subwave 3. And this would happen by mid or late December based on these trend channel lines, but possibly as far out as early January. So we'll see how this fourth wave develops and the subsequent bounce takes shape, which will give us a bit more of an idea of when to expect this to happen. Since I see this as a leveraged play, I have done some back of the napkin math on this, and our December option calls based on this 150 target have the potential of getting us 9 to 17x returns. And that's pretty conservative because I calculate those returns based on the bottom being where we are right now, which is 128. But as I mentioned earlier, I do expect further downside. These returns assume $135 and $140 strikes on call options, again, for December 17th, 2021. There's great liquidity, so this is a play I'll be looking very carefully for, and I'll keep us updated on any subsequent developments. Very exciting opportunity if you are into options and leverage. Until next time, thank you for watching and happy trading.